afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mortal Kombat Top 24 here at CEOtaku. The matches have been insane. If you're just tuning in, we came from our pools block, the last of the pools block, and now into our top 24. I'm Saki Sakura, and here I am with Zero Zintai.
Hey, it's glorious to be back out here in the new era of Mortal Kombat 1. I don't think we're going to get tired of saying new era anytime soon.
Never.
In this game.
I think that's like the tagline. It's
this
like,
is a new era.
It's in our blood, it's the new era, it's Liu Kang's new era, and it's not as peaceful as you might think.
But no one dies. I would never send you to Mortal Kombat. Why would I ever do that?
I'm not going to spoil. Chat, you need to... if you have not played the Mortal Kombat 1 story at this point, you got one more day before we start posting spoilers on the timeline.
What do you mean there is no Mortal Kombat in these tournaments, though? What do you... What?
Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Listen, Monday will spoil everything. But in the meantime, before we spoil this match, this is going to be a mirror? Maybe. We have seen some budget checks happen, but if you're just tuning in, we got to see Parsa in the last block show off that amazing Havik, right? And now this is going to be BeyondToxin versus Parsa. And it looks like it is indeed a mirror match. Wow. Insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what? I was just saying yesterday, too, like, it's great to see Toxin back on a competitive circuit. You know, of course, always been online competing still, but at least now offline in this presence here with Cyrax to support this Havik. Great combo execution for the up helicopter.
Yeah, this is interesting choices because now we have seen BeyondToxin using the Cyrax, but now Parsa's the one that's using Sektor.
Yeah.
And it's actually working really good in the favor of BeyondToxin. That Cyrax assist really keeping it safe with the drill, but great forward throw. A good Oki to set up the projectile from Havik.
Yeah, I mean, this projectile alone, not only does it have, you know, straight horizontal application for zoning out, but also extension for combos as well. Plus back with Sektor to keep this Oki going. Nice.
Oh, yeah, and great with that Citrus to keep BeyondToxin actually in the corner. A big whiff, but no whiff punish there from BeyondToxin. And Parsa's just trying to find the spacing right now. Good down 4. Yeah. And there goes another throw to keep BeyondToxin in the corner. Yeah,
about even Stevens on health right now here. Nice low. Forgot about that one in your string. And the forward helicopter to keep chipping away.
Yeah, that is a launcher projectile, so you have to be careful. There it goes again. And it could have been very dangerous for both players here. The Cyrax assist keeping those strings very much safe. Oh, but tries to avoid the full art. Oh, that's a multi-hitting move too, and you have to actually hit Havik multiple times before being able to take him out of it.
All right, nice forward advancing again. Perfect pickup with the fireball here, the gut ball.
Yep. Now, does not have meter to actually go ahead and meter burn that to get the unblockable setup, but this is still good. You want to keep your Havik in the corner and actually apply some of this pressure. Once again, there goes that launcher, not going to be able to hit, but the missile of Sektor keeping it safe.
Yeah, that gave Toxin a moment of pause there with that missile on the way, but nice down one, interrupt the fireball, and still with the Cyrax assist, that's going to back you up and not get a full combo from ParsaHP here on you. Nice pickup with the punish.
Great breaker here. You have to break that. That was going to be a lot of damage, about 34% to 38%, depending on the armor, the meter burns.
Got a couple. Oh, yeah, close. That's very the right call, but very close.
And there we go with the grab to get the side switch. Great down one poke though from Parsa. The whiff punish. I love the spacing in this game so much.
The micro step back, you know, being able to dash cancel attacks is such a, you know, phenomenal thing to add to this game because it makes shimmying that much more dangerous.
Huge launcher here from Parsa, and that's going to go with the missile to keep safe. Actually catching some wake-up buttons here from BeyondToxin, and the multi-hit to actually get full damage. Only one hit, and there you have it.
Disjointed hurt boxes, everybody.
Literally. We talk about like other characters that have like these disjointed hitboxes, but he literally has disjoints that are just like ripping them out.
Yeah, check that move list. All right, the Ducks here. Nice roll to get this punish here with the spew. Let's add it with some extra missile Oki. Ooh, there's that armor that you were talking about too.
Yeah, it takes about 3 to 4 hits to be able to take Havik out of that armor, and there's not many characters that actually have those in the block strings.
Right, yeah. All right, nice pick up here. Just a little bit of a delay just to make sure we get the full string.
We get the setup. Yeah,
that's huge. Guaranteed unblockable there.
The hit advantage on that is so good too. Takes forever for that opponent to actually come down, and enough time for the Havik to get out. Gets out of the corner, but the Cyrax assist. Helicopter coming in clutch.
Yeah, that was very fortunate for Toxin here. All right, missile setup just right back at you here.
Ooh, very nice. Gonna dash up to try to push forward more to the corner. And this is gonna be a great opportunity for Parsa to establish some Oki. Oh, but has to block all of that to avoid getting hit by the Cyrax assist. And BeyondToxin's patience coming in very clutch, too.
So gross. So gross. What is the point? Why do you rip your own heart out? Why are you doing this?
Because it's chaos. Chaos!
Oh!
That's where he thrives in it. You know, you got let him be. You got to let him be. Okay?
Let him be in chaos with the apple eating out here? All right, look. I see no apples out here in this Outworld experience.
Interesting choice here from Parsa. Chooses to go for the Sub-Zero assist, which provides the ice armor.
Yes.
And of course, has a couple of other features like providing the ice freeze if you're able to hit. But that ice armor, there it goes, actually able to try to avoid Havik's projectile, but BeyondToxin was ready for it.
Yeah, I think that's the most important change for this matchup now is that, all right, I noticed that you're going to the same Fireball Oki setups that I have anyways. So let me armor up, make that null and void so you have to contend with me in neutral. Like, this is the call. Like, I think my neutral is better than yours.
Yep, I agree with you there. A little bit of good patience there from Parsa, but BeyondToxin is just very patient in his aggression and waits for Parsa to actually make a mistake here to make the comeback. But this is going to be the tethered setup. And right now, going to do it from full screen. Again, enough time for Havik to just dash up and start the launcher.
Right, there we go.
Very nice.
Excellent route. I like that with the addition of the freeze. You can get the hard knockdown here. Empty jump throw.
And we try to get the down four, probably attempting to get a poke going, but not going to be able to do so. Also, can we talk about really quick that put Havik at 1150 health?
Sheesh.
Yeah. A lot of health.
Yeah, not only is one of the highest health characters in the game, but also add that with the bonus from very specific cameos, and Sub-Zero being one of them to add the 50.
Okay, good job here. That had to go for the down one poke. Did not have enough moves in the string to actually chip out. So very good decision making from Parsa at the last second.
Nice down four.
Here goes the Cyrax assist.
One, still my turn. Here we go. Let's get the pop up. Yeah, this is. Ooh.
Tether set up in the corner, and we're gonna get the Cyrax. Oh, this damage is so good!
Growing. That was actually a really good combo. I was expecting a hard knockdown, but I appreciate this call far more.
Okay, we have the forward throw from BeyondToxin. He's going to be able to use Ice Armor and avoid the actual net from the Cyrax assist.
Trade. It's all right, though. I like using the Fireball just to be able to get that forward approach. Not get the stagger, but not close enough to get the follow-up.
Ice Armor once again out, using the projectile. Still a little bit of a slow startup on that projectile, but great micro duck from BeyondToxin.
Yes.
And the breaker has to be used.
All right, nice duck. Unfortunately, armored up once again here. Nice.
Tries to go for the low. Unfortunately, that is going to be traded. And having to block all of this, blocking the Cyrax helicopter. Now Parsa's in danger of getting chipped out, but the armor coming in clutch. Again, you have to hit that with more than 3 moves. If not, he is just going to eat through it.
And that's the thing about MK, right? If you've already sent in the string, there's no stopping it. Like, that is it, so you are committed. It's one of those things where even if you stop, too, you might mistime your combos. So that's such a great call-out to have that armor on wake up there and force the opponent to a mistake.
Great freeze here from Parsa. It's going to be able to continue the combo. Does significant damage, 32%. Not bad at all for using that cameo.
Yeah, just great patience here, but unfortunately, he gave up the corner, right? Toxin able to push out with Cyrax, get the chip damage, but now, even more so, we have this tether, extending it for big damage, close to 450.
Full screen as well, and then look at this, just going ahead and dashing up. Now Parsa does have Breaker available, but has to be smart about it because it could take about 1 more hit or so before. There it goes.
Break.
Have to break that. That one last hit is going to count for everything, and because it's first to 2, it is not going to be a fun time.
No, not at all. All right, full zoning here. All right, good patience with Toxin. Try to get the down 1 interrupt there, but got blown up for it.
Ooh, this might be leading into, no, actually resetting because wasn't too confident on the fatal, but more than likely might have dropped.
We'll confirm here, both players 1 touch away here. Nice duck, great patience, but stood up,
Very good.
That's the forward 2, right? That,
I believe so, yeah.
The blow, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I believe it's an overhead if I'm not mistaken. So that's the one good thing about this this particular game, there's not many mids in this game.
Right.
So many characters, and if you have a mid, it's not exactly the fastest one. So
Right,
sometimes those overheads come out really clutch, especially with a character like Havik that you can kind of mix a little bit with.
I mean, gosh, the one character with the most mids, Liu Kang, right? And that's about it.
Listen, he's the fire god. He deserves it. Okay?
Oh, okay, all right.
He worked for it, all right?
Did he?
Yeah, he fought Chronica and Shang like how many times?
Well, that's a broad question. How many times? Anyway,
In
nice
multiple
overhead.
timelines. But this breaker here from BeyondToxin having to do so as Parsa was just getting ready to launch, already losing a significant amount of health. But there goes that Cyrax assist, dropping the combo though in the process.
Tight window there. It's very tough to get that. All right, nice roll. Take up. Spew.
Ooh. Oh, this is going to hurt a lot. Oh, actually 31%.
Oh, side swap. I don't think we wanted that at all.
That's the tricky part about Cyrax's helicopters. Sometimes it forces that side switch. Now, Baraka players get the advantage because they have all of that air movement, but Havik players, you got to be a little careful with that.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Blocks here.
Now we are in Fatal Blow territory for Parsa.
Yep.
It is one hit, potentially. Oh,
Dang.
and there it goes! Right there, just let me whack you with the arm, and Sub-Zero comes out, and this should kill because we were in that range. No, it's actually going to leave just a little bit of health. Actually, no, it does kill. Okay.
Believe in yourself, Saki. Believe.
I'm sorry. Listen, that's 1,100 health, okay? I learned from MK11 that you cannot just judge by the numbers, all right? You got to wait till all the hits are thrown out. Here goes the full screen tether. Beautiful stuff here from Parsa.
Yes, full spew. Nice, that's the arm for this time. See, we are learning.
Yeah, and actually really good job on doing like sort of like a safe jump there, expecting the armor move to wake up.
All right, that's out of there. Let's go for air combo. I'm coming for you.
Yep. 38%, and while BeyondToxin doesn't have the meter, that's about 15% more. So you're look at Parsa's HP bar; it's just completely gone practically.
Yeah, exactly. Strong lead here for Toxin.
Okay, throws out the Cyrax net. Does try to avoid the grab. Actually able to put on the tether. Now because of the armor, it doesn't work. It does not work.
That's wild. That was so smart from Toxin to wake up full screen, do that. Like, what a call out there.
So from what I have understood from when I was talking to Parsa about this, part of the guessing game and like way to counter that is to do an armor move.
Right.
However, it depends on the armor move. So for example, this would work for Havik, but if someone comes like Natara, would not work.
Right, exactly.
Buff Natara. Anyways, as we go ahead for the grab, gets the back throw. Ice armor is gone now, but does get the projectile. Not going to be able to launch with it though.
All right, armored up, able to throw another projectile of your own here. Keep that pressure going. Nice down one, interrupt on the jump.
Ooh, that overhead catching. Parsa has to break away. A bit of an early break, but we do gain meter back pretty significantly in this game.
I think it's a great call because honestly you have a massive life lead, so you can maintain it the way that you're zoning out now. You may as well keep that.
Absolutely, and Parsa is in the lead currently. Gonna be able to block the Cyrax net. Does get the launcher. Tries to go for the overhead. Misses the last hit because it was too slow in the block string, but there it goes, and Parsa beats BeyondToxin and moves on to top 8, I believe, because only needed that one match from top 24.
That does mean that Parsa qualifies for that top 8 position. You know what? That complete change from a more heavily focused projectile game was definitely what tipped the scales in the set, because Toxin did not necessarily have a whole lot of answers for that. Like, yeah, you can also counter zone as well, but when Sub-Zero armors you up, then I mean, I had to come in. Yeah. And the way that Parsa started playing towards the end, just being a little more aggressive with projectile throw, being able to push the opponent back more often. Like, that break, honestly, was so important to take, because then you had that full screen presence and didn't allow for Toxin to keep chipping you out and lose out on Sub-Zero opportunities to add on top of it.
I really love that change to Kemi. I think that really changed everything. I was a little bit surprised because we've seen mostly in Parsa's run using Sektor, because you have that missile assist that allows you to stay safe. You have that launcher, and Sektor is just an overall really good assist for a character like Havik, but that knowledge and like that adaptation. And it's just so crazy because this game was launched literally this past week for everyone.
Yeah.
And of course, if you had that collector's edition or premium edition, you got the chance to play it early. But still, only a week out, and we're already playing high-level Mortal Kombat 1. It's insane!
Yeah, it's really cool because I said earlier with Ajax yesterday, just I think the evolution of Cameo is definitely going to be more so matchup dependent rather than like the type of player you're going to run into when they do or die a specific Cameo because, okay, that's combo based. That's why you're sticking with this character. But then you see here with Parsa, right? All right, I have Sektor because that's how I want to play. Oh, this is how my opponent's playing. Let me switch to Sub-Zero so then I can counter that and make it a nightmare for them. And if you don't change up your Cameo play, then that's going to make things difficult. We've seen also like players swap to, especially if they're backed with Sareena. All right, fine. Let me back it up with Sub-Zero again. So then we both have to deal with no projectiles. Now it's a pure neutral game.
And that's interesting because usually when we've seen like some of the previous matches, or not other matches, but in previous series, it's always been that zoning game, right?
Yeah.
MK11 was very heavy on it. Even MKX, even though it was a more faster pace. Of course, you have the Injustice 2 and the Injustice 1 era. This game is really trying to say, hey, you still have zoning, but now you really need to be able to accomplish both at the same time, and your cameos can help you. Now, this is an interesting match. This is Zintai. Florida's own legendary Shang Tsung from MK11 coming to MK1, of course, has played multiple games. And Punk the God.
Yes.
Multiple fighting game player.
Yeah. I mean, coming into MK1, really trying to dive in and learn. This game itself, I believe, is it true we're sticking with Sub-Zero on this with the Bi-Huan skin?
I don't think he's bad,
okay.
but I'm excited to see more Ashrah because I think a lot of people are sort of downplaying her, and it's too early to be doing that because she's really good both in damage, and I truthfully feel very well good at just like air movement as well.
She's well outfitted. Her entire kit has absolutely everything that MK1 has to offer, depending upon how you want to play, and it's also boosted exponentially based on the cameo that she's backed up with. This is interesting. We have Shang Tsung zoning from Zintai, of course, but armored up. This is going to be a nightmare here for Ashrah. You're going to want to go for these low Dark Blades here to catch Shang Tsung, of course, and then you have Sektor. As long as you're able to summon Sektor, that'll help you out a bit. The speed of Fireballs make it a nightmare.
Indeed. Exactly, could not agree more with you. Interesting reactions, though, from Zintai, using the Fireballs to keep away, and then, of course, putting on that ice armor, more than likely to try to prevent getting hit by that projectile from Ashrah, because it's a good launcher, like right here, able to actually continue, has to break early for that.
And the full screen zoning game begins. This is like the first Shang Tsung I've seen in a bracket, so I'm like, yes. This is what's supposed to happen. Nice punish here from Punk, though. It's a full follow-up after the down back 3.
30%, and all from that cameo launcher is perfect. Really good defense here from Zintai, but unfortunately going to get opened up. Now this, actually going for the full string instead of Fatal Blow. And actually transforming to old Shang Tsung to get the ground eruption. That's an interesting thing compared to his previous kit, that he had those together, but now he has to transform to either old or new Shang. But there goes the continuation.
1.25 left on the health bar. Punk taking it. It's scary. And also, to your point, like, the first stance character in MK, right? Like, outside of, unless Deadly Alliance, we count that one. But first stance character, okay.
Gets the freeze going off, transforms to old Shang Tsung to get the ground eruption. And look at this combo, 37% thanks to the poison that he injected.
Nice, trying to keep full screen. Nice jump in here. Overhead does get blocked this time, but gonna get tossed. Okay.
Great down one stuff from Punk. Unfortunately, he's gonna be able to punish on Zintai's side. And there goes the launcher.
Opting for side swap right there on the stagger is very important here for Punk. Here's the Oki with missile. Just in the nick of time, that armor.
Like so close.
Yeah.
Great throw tech here from Punk. Bringing out the ice armor again. The down one does take out the armor, and we go into Fatal Blow. This is just so angelic for Ashrah. I love it.
I mean, she's trying to become, she's trying to purify her soul. She's trying to be a hero, not a villain.
I think that's like the one thing that I really love about this game is that every character just looks so pretty and just so them that it makes it so special whenever I see like their fatal blows, their fatalities, even their intros. And we've seen how many times these intros already, if we've studied at like 50 hours so far from launch week.
Right. I mean, even still, like, the colorful stages, too. Just the absolute...
This game is so colorful.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The job that they did here. I mean, honestly, we're almost 5 years separated from MK11.
Yep.
And the leaps and bounds that we took to see these animations in story mode. And just the characters alone is outstanding. Like, for real, the animation team for NRS here on this story mode, like, y'all killed it. Like, y'all were way... And the writing, first off, y'all are ridiculous. Relax.
Relax. This is an interesting change. So I did earlier in the bracket, Zintai had fought against Herbs, did the same thing, did with Shang, and then switched to Baraka. And this seems to be the game plan. And this is because of the fact that Baraka is just so good. He's only 2 touches essentially to be able to technically get the win condition.
Yeah, and he, you know, all that chip damage that he's capable of doing. Nice stun there for Punk. But also consistency in combos, too. Like, Baraka's very consistent in being able to lead into big damage. But this alone, you know, just some easy fundamentals from Punk, being able to counter a lot of these stray hits and follow up immediately after. High caliber play right here.
I love that Punk is using that mid to stub Zintai's wake-up options. And this has actually been Punk's rounds essentially. Great round start. Now Zintai being able to actually do the back throw into the corner and launching the Cyrax as well. One of the few characters that can combo off of their throw like that with a cameo.
Yes. All right, forward helicopter didn't go as high as we wanted, but that's okay. Good recognition from Zintai to not extend.
A little bit of movement here. Both players trying to shimmy each other, but the stun on this, and this is going to be some good damage from Punk. 37%. Wakes up, reversal with the actual slide in. And there we go, another launcher from Punk. This is it. And Punk is taking it with a clean 2-0 and heading to top 8 with the fatality.
Wow,
Oh, and it's the second fatality, too. It's the one where he actually memorized and you had to find it. That's kind of sweaty.
Okay, he's been playing. One might say that Punk has been playing some MK1 lately. Yeah, no, good stuff from Punk. I really appreciate seeing the, you know, especially a lot of the whip punish setups, going for frame traps, which, again, that is just par for the course for Punk's playstyle across other fighting games. Like, you watch him play Soul Bad Guy in Gear, and watch him with Cammy as well in Street Fighter 6 lately. Punk is very much about those. I mean, come on, he was Street Fighter 5 with Karen, right? Like, where, you know, really popped off, right? Like, Punk has been progressively playing that shutdown playstyle as far as, like, going for frame traps and just very good at whiff punishing. Like, that is definitely like his speciality, I would say.
I want to just like really highlight how good he was using Ashrah's mid to just stub many wake-up opportunities, even to a point some of the more armored wake-up opportunities that Baraka had. And that says a lot about how he's establishing both the neutral and the knockdown situations with Ashrah, right? And this is one of the reasons why I say that this character, like, this was a perfect example of how this character can do way more than what people think she can do, which is she's very fundamentally good. She's very, I would say, she has great damage. Like, that was pretty decent damage for only using between a launcher and 1 bar of meter.
Right.
And she capitalizes really well with Cyrax, which is starting to be more of that popular cameo that people are turning towards too.
It's been very interesting because to see Cyrax, because the bounce back and forth, right? Like, so for me personally, like going for Cyrax, I started with Smoke Cyrax, but I wasn't so sure about the unreliability of like Helicopter and opting for Scorpion to get that, but also like less damage. So then you go back to Cyrax for the chip damage on top of that as well. And you look at how the players are utilizing these assists on top of just their core character. It's just really fascinating to see the spread and how like folks have changed entirely, because Sareena was great for those guaranteed confirms. I mean, out at the outset, Stryker, you know, seems a little bit interesting to work with, but we've seen people go for complete, you know, stuns with that, also using grenades for anti-air coverage as well. Very interesting picks across the cameo cast. Up next, we do have Bluelinkys. Bluelinkys up against Hoops.
FullAuto.
FullAuto. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, so FullAuto actually not using the Sindel this tournament, actually going for Ashrah. I remember talking to a couple of people in the audience, they were very surprised to see that. And then Bluelinkys actually, this might be a button check because he did use Kung Lao yesterday.
Right.
Fun fact, this man actually plays about 15 hours a day.
Really?
Yes.
15 hours a day.
Whatever's
Yes.
needed
I
to
mean,
protect my
that
new
is the
home.
work that you got to put in to get to the level that
Indeed.
FullAuto is at. You hear that a lot, right? Like a lot of players, like even Daigo has said multiple times, just like, yeah, at least 8 to 16 hours a day they'll practice, right? So you see that across the board for many high caliber players. But yeah, FullAuto putting in the work, has been putting in the work since MK11 as well, like a storied NRS player. But
Veteran,
yeah,
essentially, all the way from, I want to say, MK9 or MKX.
should be MK9.
Yeah, so very much, I definitely have been seeing that he's been enjoying the game quite a bit. Bluelinkys, multiple fighting game player, a very swift master in DNF duel, so master of DNF duel.
Yeah.
And very much used to high damaging output games, and does a really good job with it. Has been doing excellent in MK1.
Yeah,
actually.
it started out in MK11 too, and just even in conversation with Bluelinkys about it, say I wasn't actually all that great in MK11, but this one here clearly something's changed because I think honestly that caliber of competition that really got him used to volatility in DNF.
We
And
see
it
a
shows up here.
Rain.
Yes, Bluelinkys on Rain. Great follow-ups, which is interesting because this is kind of akin to Swiftmaster a little bit, but completely different playstyle entirely. We'll see how this shows up here because now we have Sonya support here.
Yes, FullAuto using the Sonya to get extended damage in from the air. Great throw here. Already using the projectile to try to catch Bluelinkys. Goes for the stance. Tries to use the actual shadow to try to close in. Doesn't get in the first time. Gets in the second time though with the throw.
I almost thought for sure FullAuto was going to go for an up block right there. That was scary stuff. Nice extension, but a little wonky, so we get a full stop on that.
A great wake-up reversal from Bluelinkys with the armor, and this is excellent damage to knock out FullAuto here.
Bless the overhead.
It's like a slow
Don't wet
overhead. That's Rain. Listen, Rain needs it. Okay, Rain is a husbando as well. Okay, you know he may have had a couple of treacherous paths, but he deserves it. He deserves to be a good boy.
To say don't wet yourself.
All the Rain fans in chat. There goes the actual Rain falling down, and that vortex there. While you can block it, you have to be careful because that's a launcher in of itself.
Yes. All right, shielded up. Nice block on the Whirlpool, but we still have more projectiles on the way. Catches the overhead while jumping up.
Amazing
Good
block.
Yeah.
And this is high damaging punish. Oh, we're actually charging it up.
Staggered.
With the Rain kick. Oh, that was spicy.
Yo, we know we're back in an NRS time. A FullAuto
100%.
frame one rematch.
So we're just gonna go and hop right into it, giving no chance for Bluelinkys to even breathe. FullAuto's like, all right, I need to clean this up. Now that does put Bluelinkys up 1 and potentially being able to make it to this top 8 if he can beat FullAuto. But now FullAuto making it in and starting up the damage. This is gonna look really good. Misses the second Sonya assist though.
Yep, good block, able to get that forward throw as well. Hold this corner position. Bluelinkys ever closer.
Okay.
The confidence number. I'll just wait, bro. I'll just block.
Sometimes that's what you have to do, but this is a great pickup here from FullAuto. It's going to be able to launch and get a knockdown. Tries to go for the stagger. Not going to be able to do so. Another stagger goes for the jump. And actually it opens up Bluelinkys with the grab, and Bluelinkys has to try to make some form of comeback here. I think Bluelinkys is just preparing for the next round at this point, but does get the grab going through.
Yeah,
Brings out the vortex.
very tall order for Bluelinkys here at this light deficit, but yeah, going for the mid overhead.
Your death for my life.
Round 2.
A really good actual pressure there from FullAuto. Very aggressive, but still maintaining the close-up range. And that's the one thing about Rain is that he does do extremely well at the full screen. He is technically the zoner of the game, or one of them. So does need that spacing to do what he can to be able to accomplish his win condition. But there goes this launcher from FullAuto. Unfortunately, not getting the last hit, but it's all good. Bluelinkys is going to be able to get the throw and continue the forward pressure from full screen with the projectile.
Armored up again, of course. Oh, Yeah, good call out there. I think that was a misinput from Bluelinkys, but FullAuto was able to get in and not with punish, but close the gap to get that next hit.
Yep. Tries to create some spacing, does throw out a projectile and throws up shield. Oh, catches FullAuto with the low, thanks to him using the actual shadow to come through.
The down one interrupt on the teleport there from FullAuto. And we can just keep whittling away. But yeah, FullAuto. Oh, no!
Misses the punish! That is something that FullAuto's been getting away with all bracket, doing that overhead in the air and then ending it with the kick. And more than likely, that's because of that slight hitbox that makes it extremely difficult to punish consistently.
Yeah, it definitely seemed a little wonky right there on both sides, right? Because even the anti-air attempt was almost there. Like, it should have been like a full punish from Bluelinkys, but got caught by that falling button there from FullAuto. All right, armored up to start the round. Nice.
Brings out the vortex just in case FullAuto tries to go for a wake-up option there. There goes the shadow, but not going to be able to punish. And she's just going to go ahead and go for the forward throw.
Nice, down one.
There goes the mid to overhead. Beautiful combo. This is 45%!
Oh my god!
Another case in point that this is a character that can do damage with only just 1 bar of meter and 1 bar of assist.
And that's just very simple routes too. They're and very consistent routes, which is very important.
It's pretty much chip damage. The overhead catching Bluelinkys down 1 attempt. Potential set point here for FullAuto.
Nice, overhead, take the skies. Two Sonyas.
Good second assist. Tries to go for the hard knockdown to create the next pressure situation, but Bluelinkys is going to be able to wake up and actually go for the full charge. Gets the hit advantage, throws out the vortex, tries to catch it up, and able to continue the full screen pressure. There goes the ice armor.
The fact that FullAuto was able to block that scenario is like insane because that's a very tight window to low-high block. It depends upon the space for Bluelinkys because if it was too fast, it would have auto-blocked you, but it's fine. But Bluelinkys spaces it out. All right, so there's your throw forward in the corner here. Round 1. That was scary because I was expecting anti-air, but we're still taking it. Good round for Bluelinkys.
That string does really good damage. Now that I was thinking that, it took a huge chunk from FullAuto. And we're just going to go ahead and do the full screen to actually use the rain launcher. Ooh, that was nice.
Yeah, I thought that FullAuto would be blocking there, so wasn't ready for a full confirm. Down 2.
Great
easy
down
peasy.
2. That's the one thing I love about this game too. Down 2s actually anti-air consistently, more so than they did in previous games.
True. You know what? That's a fair point.
Both players trying to find spacing. Ooh. There goes the vortex, but the actual projectile using it as the second hit. No anti-air. The kick keeping FullAuto essentially safe in that situation. Definitely something to check in the lab to see if that's actually punishable.
I want to see FullAuto get hit by that whirlpool one more time because I think FullAuto is purposely getting hit by that so you don't start taking the chip damage, get locked down.
Unfortunately, it may not happen this match as FullAuto will be able to move on top 8. Ooh. And Bluelinkys still has a chance though. We'll be heading to the Hells bracket, as we call it here at CEOtaku.
A little flutter on the hand right there.
Yep.
Like a stressful situation before to get in the top 8. Doesn't mean that Bluelinkys is out of it though. You know, still going to have a little bit of a loser's run to get through, potentially to make that top 8. But FullAuto also making it no surprise that another NRS regular would be making it and advancing.
Florida boys. But no, that was actually a really good match between FullAuto and Bluelinkys. Notice how as soon as FullAuto saw that he lost, he was like, his brain just switched on and was like, all right, I already know what I got to do. Let's get back into it.
Yeah,
that's like super quick because usually you would see, and we kind of did see it with Bluelinkys before the final game, going back into, or kind of like staying in the restart match select screen and taking a minute to breathe, right? Whereas FullAuto, again, veteran player, already knows how the drill goes. And also just really quick on adapting, especially again, like, I know we've kind of mentioned it before, but this game is only a week out, and there's so much that these players know that it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, information travels far faster than it ever has in, prior entries of the series because of, advents of how the internet works now compared to 2009 when MK9 came out. And then so on after that, for each iteration after, we just constantly made improvements on how we're sharing information. So day one was probably some of the most information overload you'll ever see. And then even after that, we have back-to-back brackets of players competing at a high level or at least trying to grow to that high level. Exploring the depths of the game. Plus, the betas also gave plenty of opportunity there as well. But yeah, I mean, great showing all around and great adaptation from FullAuto too. Just, again, like you said, veteran of the series. So another veteran of the series would be Coach Steve out here too. Don't get it twisted. Coach Steve got a nasty Marvel team, right? But also has played several instances of Mortal Kombat and NRS titles in the past.
So for me personally, I got to know Coach Steve through NRS games, through MK11. But of course, not everyone was happy with MK11, so they either were just chilling with it and playing casually before actually hopping back into the competitive train, which happens. Not all games are going to be competitively fun, even though you love the series, but you can still have that fun with your viewers, with your friends. That's what makes Mortal Kombat, I feel like, probably the best out of all the fighting games that are out there. Just the fact that it's so easy for you to actually play with your friends. Everybody already knows it, But I believe this is Stryker, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So Stryker, another veteran too, very much up and coming. I'm actually interested to see how he plays because I've heard many good things about Stryker's play. I believe it's a reptile. This might be just button check, but I've been seeing a lot of Rains, which is, I don't know, Rain mains. What's this downplay that I hear?
Now, I don't think Coach Steve is playing Rain. I believe Coach is on...
Baraka, if I'm not mistaken,
Baraka. Yeah, so... That'd be surprising. But we'll see here what Stryker picks with. But yeah, Rain's a little nasty. Definitely a little bit nasty with some of these setups here. But I think, again, just being so recently released, I think there's still a lot of exploration across the cast that folks have got to do.
I love seeing Reiko here right now. This has actually been a character that, if I had to compare him to a previous game, very much like Cabal in MK11, safe on many of his strings, deals insane amount of damage. This is actually going to be an interesting match. I'm actually curious to see how Coach Steve can handle this. Baraka, again, one of those characters, 2 hits and you're dead, essentially. So definitely going to be interesting to see these two players go back and forth on this match.
Absolutely. All right, shuriken toss, of course. We've seen a lot of that from Reiko players.
Yes.
Nice. And the pickup with Scorpion I do like a lot, too.
Also has that overhead to boot too as well. Yeah. But this is a good pickup too from Coach Steve. Was able to get that Cyrax tornado helicopter out, but not going to be able to do it. That is a down one punish. It could have been a full punish, but Coach Steve trying to stop the momentum from Stryker.
Yeah. Honestly, Coach Steve is totally fine taking all this chip damage. Down one interrupt, so important here too. To send out Cyrax to back up as well. Either you're getting hit or you're getting chipped to death. You can take your choice.
Yep. And great pushback too, can actually try to catch any backdashes with that sweep. So it's a great opportunity, but the armor reversal punish and looking really nice to get the side switch. Oh, that was good. Using the breaker to try to stop it. You don't want to get hit too hard. That's one good thing about Reiko is that the shurikens actually really help him balance out his close-up game so that he can actually go for it. That was or could have been a hit confirm there from Coach Steve, but unfortunately wasn't too confident in it. And this is going to do damage. Not going to be able to kill, though. That is only 11%. Great throw tech. Oh! But Coach Steve said, I wake up. We're from New York. I know New Yorkers all plus on their plus frames.
Hey, and the other thing, too, at that life point, you may as well send it because immediately after you saw Cyrax come out. So we're going to chip away until death.
Coach Steve has a motto, just press.
Yep.
Just do what you got to do.
Fight forever.
Yep. Good flawless block here. That does kind of help with the chip situation. Unfortunately, the down one is going to stop the attempt from Stryker to try to get out of the pressure zone. Ooh, eating the armored as well.
All right, good grip of damage, 400, jeez Louise, with no assist to back it up. Oh, there you go, more chip.
That is so much chip damage there from Coach Steve. Going to be able to avoid the grab, is going to be able to hit confirm, and this should be it against Stryker. Beautiful stuff there from Coach Steve.
All right. Excellent first game from Steve with complete control.
I love it. I love seeing Coach Steve just play. Interesting enough, because I think I was hearing from his streams, he was not feeling too comfortable in the games just yet. Wasn't too sure how he was gonna perform in CEOtaku, and was not too sure if Baraka was the right pick. But I love that this has been really helping him through his run for the most part.
Yeah, it's very, because the game feels so different. It's familiar yet different in so many ways, outside of the obvious ways, right? Like how you approach neutral is very unique compared to previous iterations, and emphasis on being able to do dash canceling to extend combos and confirms is also fairly unique too to this experience, just in the feel type of way.
Yep, definitely agree with you there. Now we do see the change from Reiko to Havik, and also with the Sub-Zero armor as well. Interesting choice.
Yeah.
Considering that we haven't really seen Coach Steve actually throw out projectiles, but this might be a good opportunity to really change up the momentum and try to regain it.
Yeah, I mean, what a great call out, right? Because Coach Steve is definitely not much of a projectile Baraka, mostly in your face. Again, I will chip you out because I can. Like, look, I don't have to worry about it. I have 6 hits out of this.
That was perfect. That actually stopped Havik entirely. And again, the actual answer to how to deal with Havik's moves.
Just keep you locked down. Neutral jump, another one here. Jump 2. No anti-air. Fine, I'll keep chipping away.
Yep, and there goes that whip punish. Has to break. It is a bit of a last chance break here to try to gain some momentum, but Koshi just zooms right in.
Oh, and then right into cancel. My goodness.
Round 2, fight.
Potential set point here for Coach Steve. Looking already really solid. There goes the launcher though from Stryker. Is going to be able to launch. Not going to confirm though. Big drop in damage, and this is just pressure thanks to the Cyrax assist. Actually going for the grab very nicely, and combos off of it as well.
Got the most out of what you had there.
Yeah, there was no full meter to actually work with in that situation just yet. And sometimes that's one thing that we kind of need to see from these players later on, right, as the game progresses, is the meter management, both cameo and just regular meter. But there goes the tether.
Let's see what we got. Oh, no.
Ooh.
Nice pick up with the freeze. It's very low, so this is going to be tough to follow up here. I think we go with the best thing that we could possibly do.
Still a great hit confirmed despite how being low to the ground that freeze was. Good stuff with the anti-air. Gets the down 1. Very nice tech from Coach Steve. And that's going to lead out to the Cyrax attack. The duck though from Stryker. The matchup check. We checked those.
So much risk to go for those, but also when you're right, the payoff is huge.
It's definitely satisfying, and I think very satisfying in this game particularly. But we'll see how Coach Steve can react to this. Still on potential set point. Stryker does need to take this round in order to stay alive in this side of the bracket.
Oh, nice slide on into DMs. A little bit early on the meaty, but that was a delayed wake up anyways from Stryker.
He gets the back throw, an armor reversal punish, and that is another case in point how Coach Steve has been really trying to find the answers, especially to characters like Havik. Does Havik play safe here? There it goes. Not going to be able to launch with that string, but still was able to slide. This, yep, 13. So I believe that might have been because it was a counter throw, so that's why it did a little bit more damage.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not too 100% sure because I know most assists are supposed to do 120 damage, but that was 130 in that situation.
Okay. Nice challenge.
Very good punish from Stryker. Again, still a little bit low to the ground, but able to really capitalize. Now there goes the tether, using the meter to do so. Let's go, full screen. There's nothing really that Coach Steve can do there unless try to go for the slide.
Slide, or even you go for the fireball, but even then, like, string's still there.
Was actually able to open up, not going to be able to fully hit confirm though from the string. So again, goes that pressure. Tried to either duck the high on that last string part of the string, Coach Steve trying to get out of this corner.
Okay, nice push.
Ooh, very nice. Using the side switch, or actually jumping over and letting Stryker continue forward. It was good. Here goes the breaker.
Yeah, that could have been very bad. Another breakaway.
Staggers.
Yeah. We saw that a lot in earlier brackets too, right? For Coach Steve, just a lot of quick interrupts there.
Gets hit by the overhead. There goes the projectile. It still launches, and Stryker now is the one that is on set point. Coach Steve having a little bit of trouble trying to clean it up here.
That armor just in nick of time there for the fireball to get blown up.
It's interesting because right now we're seeing Coach Steve trying to counter the projectile with his own projectile, but it's not working because the armor has already been in place for Stryker.
Exactly.
He's already been accustomed to using it. Ooh, nice down 2 to anti-air. Good throw tech. And there goes the chip once again. Brings out Cyrax. Ooh, very good reversal counter from Coach Steve. Goes for the down 1 check. Then brings out Cyrax again to continue pressure. And staggers the move to go for the throw.
Oh, nice down 2. Still about even on health. Until that fireball hit the guts ball.
Oh, there goes the throw from Stryker. It does seem like Sub-Zero's doing a 13% for a regular throw, which is interesting because not all cameos have that. Oh, that is a full punish, and that is it. Stryker taking it 2-1 over Coach Steve. The patience coming out, and the Havik doing the work, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. What was interesting, too, is I almost feel like that Coach Steve was really conditioning Stryker throughout the set as far as the slide-in. You know, constantly forcing just Stryker to stand up, and eventually just Stryker had that adjustment anyways. Yeah, just fantastic call-outs from Stryker throughout the set as time went on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Coach Steve had a really good run in that moment too. It's just once you start conditioning, it can be a little bit hard to open up with Baraka after you see that your opponent's like flawless blocking and doing the homework. Essentially, there was a lot of moments where Stryker was actually ducking and also was playing really patient, kind of noticing too that Coach Steve was trying to go for the forward advancing move with the slide.
Right.
And you know, those are things that, like, again, it's still really early. So that's why when we like talk about different opinions on the characters and cameos and things like that, it just takes that labbing portion and then adjusting. And again, only week out, so there's a lot of things that many of these players are also kind of learning on the fly, because technically this is one of the first 2 majors that are happening for Mortal Kombat 1, right? Like we have CEOtaku, and then we have Veniality that's happening over in the EU.
I was wondering about Veniality. Yeah, I forgot they're coming up.
And they're both like still showcasing really top talent. Like this is a very much a stacked bracket with very notable names, both veteran and new ones that are just showing off all of this, all of these skills.
Yeah, and the breadth of creativity that is in this game has been absolutely tremendous too, because now players are going to have an even larger way to really express themselves. You know, it's very different based on the variation system, right? You know, the opening gamut of variation system was very specific ones, changed up a little after another patch, and then the ultimate end of MK11, MK11 Ultimate, right? Was, you know, being able to freely choose your variations based on the slots that were available, and players got to really explore the breadth of that system, which I think was really fascinating. So here is that next step of, okay, well, now we have these cameos. Your playstyle can really be complemented depending upon who you have equipped with it, or just cover a particular weakness that your character might have.
Oh, this is, okay, I'm going to be a little bit biased. Just a little bit biased here, okay? This is one of my favorite players. It's going to be Aztec. Once the Kotal God, now the Raiden God. It's so funny because I was talking to him about it, because I was like, because for those of you who don't know who Aztec is, Aztec was one of the few players in MK11 that when he was using Kotal Khan was using the least used variation, which was the Panther variation.
Oh, yeah.
Very much was the sole advocate of that variation, established a really good history, especially towards the later end of Mortal Kombat 11 in the Ultimate side, especially for customs. Now, what I love when I spoke to him I was like, yo, Aztec, it feels good to be a top tier now, right? And he plays Raiden.
This fight will be one for
It's
the ages.
I'm finally getting ready because my entire block yesterday there was not one Raiden. I think there was only one and that was it. I'm just like, where is this character? Like Raiden finally has some sauce and I don't see Raiden anywhere. But yeah, Aztec coming back here. Drac also coming back with Rain.
Indeed, indeed. Now, what's going to be really interesting to see is there goes that Superman fly button right there for Aztec. It is punishable, but because of the pushback, you do have to be a little bit careful in how you do it. Now, there goes that projectile. Does require a charge, but reaches very far.
Right. Ooh, opposite side.
Ooh,
nice teleport.
Love it.
Good.
All right, Drac trying to find a way to start it up. There goes the ice armor to actually avoid the projectile. Now, this is the thing, though. Actually countering it, the Sareena assist from the double boomerang.
Yeah. I gotta start paying attention. Yep, see?
Yep.
Too little, too late there. But at least we know for sure Aztec is starting to pay attention to that Sub-Zero meter. Because now we're trying to put a projectile on top of Rain before Sub-Zero comes out and applies that.
I find it interesting that he chose Sareena for this matchup. Usually you would see a Jax assist for the Raiden, but...
Oh, because they extended damage, yeah.
Exactly, but we can't, like, we'll definitely see how Aztec incorporates this, because you still can get good damage. Now, the multiple charge going through Rain's shield there, Ice Armor still on, was able to get the back throw. What an interesting animation for that.
I know, right? Reminds me of Zato from...
Yes.
But yeah, you know, I think the Sareena pick in this matchup in particular, again.
Oh
no, it's over. We ducked. We ducked because of the timer there. It's all good. But no, Sareena's a great pick here, I think, because now you're trying to counter the zoning with your own zoning. Sure, Sub-Zero's backing it up, but also it gives you that additional opportunity for Raiden to get closer for the better strings that he has.
I love how Aztec's using the dive, actually, trying to avoid any potential opportunity. Now, that was a launcher. Wasn't going to be able to continue the combo off it because it was a raw launcher. Let's see if Drac can come back from this. Has already lost a significant amount of health. There goes the Sareena assist. Brings out enough time to charge up the projectile from Raiden.
Couple ducks there just to make sure you're not going for a throw. Don't want that timing. Hold that.
Yeah, there we go. Once again, using that dive, but unfortunately does get whip punished. Tries to go for the armored, I believe, Superman, but is not going to be able to do so. Goes back to full screen, brings out the Sareena boomerangs.
It's very interesting that we're seeing more zoning out of Aztec as opposed to a lot of the great buttons that Raiden has. Great combo ability as well.
Yeah, I'm actually liking this style to kind of counter Rain. Aztec's like just kind of walking back, staying protected, and just kind of leaving it at that. Now, this is going to hit because of the way the Lightning's hitbox works after the launcher. And while it won't kill, this does allow Drac to take the first health lead in the entire match.
Yeah, oh my goodness. The pelvis is gone.
Ooh, there goes the down forward check and into the throw to try to even up the health bar. We're just a little bit under. 15 seconds on the clock. Shield goes out, tries to dive out, and now it's just a matter of chipping out here. Drac not actually ducking those Sareena boomerangs. Might not be too comfortable doing so. 4 seconds on the clock, and then goes for a chip out situation. If you get hit, you just get chipped out. If you don't, if you do get hit, that's full damage right there.
The runaway game from Aztec, so strong. And what's crazy is you're going up against the zoner in Rain, and they're having trouble keeping up with how onto you're.
It's actually insane because we've seen most of the Raidens that have been posted like on Twitter and on content creation that he's very up close and personal, but this has been perfect to stop the zoning game and actually kind of counter with zoning. No anti-air there, but Aztec does not need it, gets a counter hit, goes for the throw instead.
I will.
Once again, not ducking those Sareena boomerangs. Actually losing a lot of chip. I think he's about 20% of chips, essentially, thanks to that.
I got the Sareena curse. We're draining away from that combo breaker. Nice escape. Away from cold shoulder. Not a chance. Nice Superman.
Goes for the overhead and then brings out the boomerangs once again. Look at just that chip damage, whittling Drac's health at this point. And Aztec just playing super patiently, bringing out some of the charge. Oh, does get punished for it though, but not a hard punish, not enough to do so. And Drac trying to find some form of an opening. Does get hit by the Sareena blades, and that is an
Nice
easy
pickup.
hit confirmed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have time to make a whole sandwich and then get the rest of the combo going.
I think depending on like forward dashes, you can probably go for about 2 dashes before you're unable to actually combo off of the Sareena boomerang. So that was actually really solid there from Aztec, because it does look like Raiden does have like a little bit of a slow dash through, but still really good stuff right now. Drac trying to get the health lead once again before going back into a full screen war. Puts on the Sub-Zero armor, but Aztec still not afraid of it, just closing in. Does get the trade off of the down 4 in the overhead.
Jeez. Stand 1. All right, here we go. Nice overhead as well for the back 2.
Most of Aztec's gameplay has been poke checks, goes for the throw, and then just backs up a little bit to see what Drac's trying to do here.
The rhythm has now changed, right? Because it used to be so much of just this, the zoning, and now we're using a lot of those great strings, the pressure opportunities that Raiden has in this iteration. All right, good block there. Sheesh, what a down 2.
Yeah, some of those moves are a high, so the down 2 comes in clutch. No punish, or rather no way to poke Drac there from that overhead. Does bring out the Sareena blades, and that is perfect. Actually able to hit confirm, but not able to get the full combo off of it.
I mean, we take the dub there because no armor was applied. Thank goodness we shut it down, but now, yo, we're out of here.
Yep, lightning versus the water god, and it's gonna be Aztec that is gonna take it and move forward.
Well done. Yeah, absolutely. With that full zoning game from Raiden to start things off, that was absolutely fascinating, especially considering that Sareena should have been there for the combo extension on top of it. Because like you said, Jax is another one for that really big damage for down forward 2 opportunities. We've seen a lot of great juggles with that, especially with meter burn. But Sareena, another solid one too, because you can daisy chain a lot of the strings that Raiden has.
Yeah, such a difference compared to the MK11 counterpart of Raiden, which was very much like, this was a very similar play style, but you don't have that projectile arsenal that he had in the previous game. What I also really want to like appreciate too is how Aztec was just maneuvering the air to avoid many of Drac's opportunities for even throwing out projectiles and even throwing out fatal blows. Like, that has been a fatal blow that's actually really hard to avoid because, again, the lightning has a very unique hitbox.
Right.
So a lot of the times what happens is that, like, people get like, oh, I got hit by that, but it's still so far away, and then the lightning just reaches there. But instead, Aztec has been really using that dive to just avoid it completely, and that's really good knowledge checking and showing off that, like, you just sometimes have to play patient. You don't have to go for the full combos. You can just kind of stay back, walk back, take it easy. Sareena did the job for you, and you know, you take on the win and you keep going.
Yeah, you slowly chip away at your opponent's health from full screen situation. When it's safe to do so, you close that gap, and Raiden definitely 2 options to escape entirely, whether it be teleport or, you, like you said, the aerial Superman dive as well. Those were some great options. It's just fascinating to see again, though, Rain being out-zoned and having to chase someone down. What?
Poor Rain. Poor Rain. Rain struggles.
No, Rain's all right. Rain's all right. Hold on now. Don't.
This is Florida boys. This is pure
yes.
Florida boys. This is going to be Alcatraz versus Pluralmite. Now, I did talk to Pluralmite about Tanya because he used to be a Raiden main in MK11, and he's actually the walk-back king. Like, he usually is the one that he will just let you kill yourself, essentially. Just let yourself come through, and he's the one that's going to be able to whip punish.
Right.
But he's actually chosen Tanya. And many Tanya players have said that the Goro assist helps tremendously, especially when she's doing like her wake-up armored reversal that she goes in the air, because Goro keeps her plus and safe.
True. Yeah, that's interesting. This will be one of my first times seeing Tanya in a bracket. So really curious to see how this shows up too. Goro, I've definitely seen a lot more utilization out of as well, just for that very reason, to keep your character safe on a lot of pressures. We saw that yesterday. It was Goro with Kung Lao, which was a good blend.
Yeah, so that's another good like pairing for Goro is kung lao because the way the inputs are set up, you can do dive kick, and Goro's like actual hit when he tries to like raise his arms up keeps your character plus. So it's very hard to deal with, but let's see how Alcatraz does deal with it. There actually stubs the wake up armored reversal.
Yeah, that was very fortunate there for Alcatraz.
I love the stagger. This is a very good stagger. And there goes the launcher as well. Unfortunately, has to break very quickly.
Yeah, that was a good stagger, especially too. Alcatraz tried the up block on this situation here.
Now, one good thing about Tanya, she does have a projectile. She has the horizontal one, and she also has the downwards one. She also has a parry, and she has a buff as well that allows her to teleport just like that. And that overhead is fantastic. And there goes the armored reversal to also get the launcher with Goro and end with the low dive.
All right, very cautious on this approach here.
She has great range as well, brings out the projectile. And just, again, see how Pluralmite just walks back, lets the opponent come in, tries to go for the punish, not going to be able to succeed, and Goro does whip. However, this, oh no, that's a huge whip, but no punish, and Pluralmite reacting just in time to also get the side switch.
Yeah, wow, that could have been far worse for Pluralmite right there, but Alcatraz was not awake at the wheel for that one. Nice pickup here, go for the air juggle.
Ooh, that was a great vortex. Almost 20%. That is disgusting. But flawless blocks, still going to get hit a little bit by the Cyrax assist.
Nice breaker.
All right, brings out her buff once again. Tries to get it fully charged, is able to do so. Able to get the teleport coming in. And brings out Goro, gets the launcher as well as the full damage. 35% is not all that bad. I don't think she even used a meter. And that's in that instance.
Not at all. All right, nice pickup here. Side swap, all right.
Yeah, Alcatraz now having to come closer as Pluralmite just goes ahead and stays back a little bit.
Yeah. With this chase game, right? You have to go for these fireballs here to try to help cover your tracks.
And there goes the diagonal.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a net from Cyrax yet. I mean, the way that Pluralmite has been fairly grounded, not necessarily just jumping backwards, like, that's an option, right?
Yeah, that is true. I think part of the reason, too, is because we did see this in the last time we saw Alcatraz. The Cyrax net, apologies, comes out a little bit later, so we'll probably see it in this round. Or in this set of match, just because of the fact that like he's now understanding where how Pluralmite's playing,
right,
which has been very much again like backing up, throw out projectile. You know, the projectile is slow enough that if it does get traded, the Cyrax net is gonna work.
Right.
Also, the other thing though too that could be a factor here is that it is crucial to keep Baraka safe in his string.
Right.
So you use that and you don't have enough for the helicopter, that can create a not good situation for Alcatraz.
That's true. Catch 22 on that one here. At a full screen distance, got to figure out how to close this gap with dash blocking as well. Cool. Fireball.
Once
There's
again,
that finally, but
yeah, it's exactly. You know, coming in a little bit later, but that is about a quarter that Alcatraz has to wait for. Now we do see this buff coming in really clutch. I don't see a lot of Tanyas do the buff as of lately because, again, still new. But that is helping Pluralmite a lot to try to come in and actually go for the teleport to open up Alcatraz.
All right, nice. EX Fireball for a knockdown.
Starts up the charge on it. There goes, able to complete it. Ooh, I got hit. I definitely got hit there.
Absolutely. All right, there's an air combo there. Side swap. That's okay because you're right next to Pluralmite, and you're still able to get that corner swap. So, we're blocking
goes for the fatal blow. Why? I think that might have been an input error. Probably was expecting it to hit confirm, and just ended up not doing so. Great punish though from Alcatraz. Fatal blows are a little bit tough to punish in this game due to pushback.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Nice. Gets
Goro.
the launcher.
Yeah.
Oh, 20%, pretty good. Pretty decent after using the wake up armor reversal.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Unfortunate drop, but that's okay. Still, again, the position is so important here.
Yes. Breaking away early. Again, this is you're around the head. So breaking away early is going to help your situation. That is leaving Pluralmite, though, able to get 35% and get the low as well, the low sweep going through, and might be able to kill here. Just not enough just yet. Didn't meter burn the air kicks.
Oh, yep, just one touch. All that Pluralmite needed.
Final round. Fight.
Right, full screen once again. Pluralmite on potential set point.
Go.
Okay, blocking the air spin just in time. Pluralmite out of the corner. Alcatraz having to use the breaker. Is able to charge up. Does have the teleport accessible at this time. I believe it does give a buff as well. That's something that we do have to check, but it's still a good opportunity. Alcatraz, though, not going to let Pluralmite take advantage of it. Gets up reversal, goes for the overhead to keep the string safe.
She's jump out there, but hey, Alcatraz not getting caught by that swing either. You might have gotten an escape, Pluralmite, but that could have been far worse for Alcatraz. All right,
Okay,
Fireball War.
Yeah, we're seeing the Fireball War, but look at that pickup there from how far her baton actually reached.
Yeah. All right, keep the chip damage going. Oh, nice down one.
Very nice. So the flawless block allows you to actually get the down one in, because now since you're not pushed back, you don't have to worry about the Cyrax. Now there goes that reversal wake up armor because of the Goro assist, keeping it safe and catching Alcatraz off guard. Oh, the risky choice to use the fireball and try to wake up armor. But the fireball is going to have enough damage to go through it.
Yes, yes. Good stuff here. 1-all in the set.
There was a couple of risky situations that Pluralmite did that definitely cost him those matches. And not just the last interaction, but a couple of moments before. It could have been Pluralmite's game, but you know, sometimes, again, it's a new game. There's a lot to get used to. It's not the same input delay.
Right.
There's a lot of factors to that for why that happened. But this is great corner pressure to keep also the corner for Pluralmite.
All right, nice. Got the armor. Reversal. All right, nice. Spend it one more time here. Got the pop. Able to catch up on damage as well, too. Cyrax, I'm surprised Cyrax extension, but look at the damage. 438, worth it.
100% worth it. And actually putting Pluralmite in fatal blow territory. And I feel like this is where Alcatraz can do pretty well. Does get the jump in, has to use breaker to get away. This can be one hit confirm, about one hit confirm and one hit for Pluralmite if he's able to do so. Flawless blocks it, goes for the grab. And now fatal blow territory for Alcatraz.
Both players just do one touch. Yo.
Took out Cyrax.
Yeah.
That's huge right there. Great job there from Pluralmite as Alcatraz was stuck in recovery.
That's an excellent call for sure, because then you're going to have enough time to still challenge, like you said, because you're still stuck in recovery. You're not going to get mixed by the Cyrax pressure, and then allow for Alcatraz to continue that pressure. All right, nice explosion.
Using breaks away early as well. That breaker is going to come in pretty clutch if Alcatraz is able to get the health lead significantly. Both of them are about, I would say, even with Alcatraz at 800. Oh, catches Pluralmite trying to anti-air.
Wow.
Yep. That is why Goro is such a good pairing for Tanya. That launcher works out really well when she wakes up. Pluralmite didn't even need to use the armor for that instance.
Oh, nice. And see, we saw that earlier, but I think we overshot it, and that's where we had the Cyrax assist to create that additional pressure, but this time around, hitting just right.
Yeah, taking out Cyrax, I think, has been a good... It's sort of like trying to take out that assist and being able to play safely. Once again, Goro coming out. That is plus. You cannot press on that. That's why they are unable. That's why Alcatraz was getting the counter hit. And this might be it. Yup, it is. And Pluralmite taking out Alcatraz out of the bracket and still staying alive on the hell side.
Yeah, definitely. Just a bit of additional homework to do on that matchup in particular, just where the plus frames are at, especially with that Goro assist. That's so important. We saw a few attempts at down one interrupts, but yeah, and some of the timing too, I think, on the aerial spin, I think was probably, unfortunate there. But that is the game sometimes, where your spacing is so important that timing can get a little bit finicky because of how quick you have to react to a lot of things in MK1. It's a different pace than what it was, you know, from
It
the
is.
previous game entirely. So
It really is. You know, I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because even like we talked a little bit in Aztec's matches before. Like for example, when Raiden does his Superman punish in MK11, that was an easy punish. Like that was easy. You could do whatever, because it was like minus 26 or something like that. Very highly punishable. And even with just like a standard basic string, you were able to get a significant amount of damage. But here, the pushback is significant enough, and also the block stun, that if you're not on point, you are going to miss that opportunity.
yeah.
And that's kind of what we saw here, where I felt like Pluralmite definitely had a little bits of those opportunities, and then same thing with Alcatraz, but
Right.
Alcatraz was the one that wasn't just able to like react to them as quick as Pluralmite did.
right, absolutely. Yeah, and that wasn't even our qualifier quite yet. It was to decide who was going to fight up against Zintai in the bracket, if y'all are following at home.
Ooh, that's a good one. That
yeah.
would be a very good one then.
Yeah, so I mean, just looking back at it here, we still have a few more matches on the loser side of things. It's Bluelinkys up against Infinitii, Coach Steve up against Misfit Panda, and Toxin up against Aztec, which has been a very interesting run, because I mean, Misfit Panda took out 2 easy in every. I mean, Aztec took out Forever King and took out Drac, as we saw. But yeah, it just, wow. Even Alcatraz having such a significant run through this bracket took out Alcatraz. We still have Wonder Chef advancing a little bit, but
way.
unfortunately got knocked out by Infinitii. So that's
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how the cards laid there.
I love
but
it.
yeah.
2 commentators going at it at each other.
Right,
like that.
right. Like it was fast. I felt like yesterday's block was the commentators' block.
It was.
You and Wonder Chef in that block. So
It did feel like it actually. It was very it's always cool to be able to be like the commentator that like hops into the matches, and like I feel like that's how I learned more about the game. Like I get to talk to different people. Like I said, a lot of the interesting insight of how these players are using their assists and how they're actually utilizing and kind of figuring out the game. Being able to talk to them while they're in bracket and actually be able to kind of see where their head's at is a very insightful knowledge for as commentators. So it's always a unique experience when you get to play in these matches and you kind of see where everyone's thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always fascinating too, especially in conversations around MK1, how broad those decisions are made as far as how players are feeling about the characters. If that conversation is not stuck on a very specific subset of characters, like, you know, day one we saw Sindel Sareena, it's like, all right, well, here we go, like, this is it. But now that's expanded exponentially with, now, wait a minute, what about these ones? Like,
I'm actually hearing a lot of people, like, so this is the thing, too, and this is kind of like, you know, talking about anime games, because we are at a anime fighting game convention and major, right? It's interesting how, like, in Strive, this is a conversation, like, nobody's bad. It's just how well do you utilize the tools in your game. And then we look at Mortal Kombat 1, and I'm starting to see the same thing. Like, no cameo is really bad, and no character is really bad either. It's how you're utilizing each of them and how you're and, like, this is even more prominent because you're mixing 2 sets of tools together. Right. It's been mentioned time and time again that cameos is like the drive impact of Mortal Kombat 1. It is a big part of how Mortal Kombat 1 is meant to be played. And then when we look at, for example, how these cameos just come into play, and, you know, we're not talking about trying to counterpick with a character, we're trying to counterpick with the cameo.
Yeah, that's the first thought. Like, eventually we'll get to the nuance of, like, okay, character also, but the original outset that has been the lead of the conversation has been, how do these cameos work and how are we extending with it? How do you utilize it? Like you said, the toolkit, just expanding it beyond what it is at face value is so important for this game here. And just the path possibilities, like even myself, like I'm sitting around like 3 different cameos where I'm like, okay, these are all viable for XYZ reasons, but then someone else might jump in with a different set of eyes on how that cameo combination does work out, or even more specific for their character, what tools they actually use. But yeah, just the freedom of expression in this game has been absolutely insane. To see these combo routes, especially too, like, we can't get enough of these Johnny combos that I've been seeing online lately. Like, they've been a ton of fun.
Combos feel so creative. And I will be honest, like, from every match that I've seen, Like, there are a couple of those strings that, like, yes, they're kind of, you know, you're going to see them often.
Right.
But, like, I've seen everybody kind of play differently, these characters.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so refreshing. Now, I
Yeah.
do want to shout out Infinitii, because this Dolores cosplay is godlike. Like, look how gorgeous she looks right there.
You're right. That's the KOF 15 cosplay right there.
Yes, her and Candy actually cosplayed as Mai and Dolores.
Yes.
Candy's actually in the crowd right now.
Yeah, in the
supporting.
background. Yeah, we can see.
I saw it. All we need is Blue Mary, and we got like the girl boss team.
Yeah, true. And this is Bluelinkys, like we said earlier too. Scorpion Stryker, or is this button check?
This is
This got to be
button
button check.
Yeah. So it seems like Bluelinkys goes as Scorpion to button check.
This is base character. That's where the default, you know, picker lies.
Although, let me find out that he actually knows Scorpion, and then we're
Sheesh.
kind of all messed up.
I don't know. I don't think Scorpion's the Bluelinkys character. I would think like Rain's a solid pick, right? But gosh,
I did like
I would not be surprised if Bluelinkys would smoke. I'll be honest.
I do like Bluelinkys Kung Lao. I think that's going to be really interesting to see.
Whoa! Okay.
There, see, we were talking about this earlier before the last match. Kung Lao players are the other character that does a really nice pairing with Goro.
Yes.
And Infinitii on the Mileena pick as well with Sareena. And it's interesting because I was actually talking to her about the Mileena Sareena. It's because of how she utilizes Sareena for keeping in mind like meter and utilizing it as properly as possible. But this is a great start for Bluelinkys on round start.
Yeah, absolutely. Already got corner position. The pressure is about to be insane for this Kung Lao. Keep you guessing with these staggers.
Love that cartwheel. It is an overhead, so you are going to get hit by it, and it's pretty much safe for Mileena. And look at these combos right now. This is going to be great damage, 38%. But Bluelinkys wakes up, and Infinitii has to use that breaker. Ooh, no punish on the whiff ball roll.
I just realized Ajax was right. We had a guess as to whether or not we see Mileena in top 24, and Ajax said that we absolutely would, and here we are with Infinitii on Mileena.
There was, I think there was 2 Mileenas in top 24. The other one was Misfit Panda.
Ooh, so we still got time for that one. Okay.
Yep. Nice good movement here, trying to keep the full screen and see who's going to hit. Now for Infinitii to use the teleport, she does need the 2 bars of meter once the sides hit, but this is a great pickup right now.
Yeah.
Especially with no meter usage on it.
Jeez, yeah, while jumping, that's unfortunate follow-up, but Bluelinkys able to recognize it in time.
Yep.
Overhead. Doesn't know it's an overhead until now, I guess.
It is one of those moves because Mileena has a low in one of her strings.
Right.
So when she implements the cartwheel, it can definitely catch you. But this Sareena pickup is perfect for Infinitii. Ends it with the cartwheel for 35%, and just look at that. But Bluelinkys wakes up. Will we see the fatal blow? Yes, we will. And there goes Goro, coming out with the punches, pulling out your arms. And this should kill because of the fact that Infinitii was in fatal blow territory, and that's usually under 300.
Good stuff for Bluelinkys. My goodness, a quick game.
Very quick game. But I really do like what Infinitii's trying to do here. This is kind of the problem though with certain characters, and again, we're still kind of like learning how fast meter comes back. We know that meter comes back when you're getting hit in good chunks, right? But when you're dealing out damage and you're being very, you're using it a lot and not really throwing out your cameos, that meter gain isn't as much as you would like it to
Right.
be.
And let's not forget that bonus you get on first hit too, right? Get that quick
Very
second
crucial.
bar.
Yep. There goes the low side. Again, using that cameo actually very close to getting back the meter. Gets the gets the cartwheel out. There goes that low from the string.
Cool.
Yep. Using the enhanced side.
Nice.
Oh, the launcher here from Bluelinkys.
All right, Goro, keep it plus. Nice pickup as well. Let's go with the bound.
What a good dive kick wall bounce. And now putting Infinitii in fatal blow territory. Again, that's Goro. Even though it whiffed, you could see that Infinitii was scared to press it down one right after.
Yeah. She's and these staggers from Bluelinkys. And honestly, if you want a taste of how Bluelinkys plays DNF, it's this right here. The stagger on pressure. You know, that character has like a 5B, which is like a quick short forward advancing combo starter. Kung Lao almost essentially has the exact same button here.
Yep, definitely agree with you there. Gonna be able to use the low side. Does have to use the meter on it.
Yeah, sending out double pizzas on the Sareena here.
I do like the spacing on it. There goes the double boomerangs. Unfortunately, Mileena's not going to be able to combo off once the Sareena boomerangs do hit in the air. There goes the Goro to keep it plus. Infinitii trying to press, but again, because Goro was able to hit on the block, that is plus.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Bluelinkys came down with a falling 2 and didn't have the follow-up on deck right after. It's a tight window. Again, so much precision is required for this iteration of Mortal Kombat.
This might be able to, oh, no, not going to be able to kill because of the ending on the cartwheel. This is shift damage though. Yep, using the Sareena for it. I do like that Sareena has that, the chip damage. It's like a great way to just use those double boomerangs for ending rounds, especially if you're scared to come in. Oh, the anti-air with Sareena and able to convert off of it. So clean, 30%. Okay, Bluelinkys throwing out hat. Infinitii trying to just back up away. It does get closer to the corner. Staggers from Infinitii.
Yep. Here, keep you guessing. Nice pick up the jump too. Immediate break. Doesn't want to take all that damage. Don't let you catch up. Full screen position would be great too.
Tries to go to the down with the dive kick to try to actually advance a little bit. Bluelinkys is holding onto all of those Sareena blades. I think part of the reason, though, is because of the Mileena size. Now, that cartwheel, though, has been sort of like a pain in the neck for Bluelinkys here.
It comes out so quick, so it's tough to react to, I guess.
Ooh, that is a huge pickup for Bluelinkys. Infinitii has no meter as well, so this is all Bluelinkys. This is actually a good usage of the Fatal Blow. You're in final round.
Yep.
You do have very little health, but what that allows, I think what we might see here from Infinitii might be a wake-up side teleport. Bluelinkys just needs to be very conscious of that. Nope, shift damage.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, good patience though from Infinitii. That could have been very dangerous.
I mean, even Bluelinkys, we almost caught it on camera here. I was so close. It was on the cusp of it right there. That was a great reaction for Bluelinkys, but a great attempt, rather.
Yes.
Just a smidge too far there.
Again, good choice on the Fatal Blow. Unfortunately, it is that next, like, okay, what is the opponent going to do? Because I do have to make comeback. It might be that we have a disconnect on the controller.
Oh, that was it? That was it?
That was,
oh yeah.
That
she took it. She took it. Yeah, controller disconnected. She took it.
Oh,
wow.
That is heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. Infinitii taking it because of the controller disconnect.
Yep.
It was definitely going to be a final round though, especially with that that second game happening. The sass! Yes, queen!
Yo, relax! Why? Why did you do that?
You know,
you are never financially recovering from that one. Don't watch this VOD. Bluelinkys, do not watch that VOD.
The sass, I love it. That's you see, that is queen, that is hot girl bleep, okay? All right, but you know, sometimes those things happen. Even I had some controller issues, and you know, you definitely need to make sure you come in prepared. You have all your cords right. You know, you are playing for long hours, so having backups is really important too. You know, all of those come into consideration.
I wonder because Bluelinkys uses an Xbox One with the Brooks adapter, but I think Brooks on the PS5, there's no countdown timer like the PS4 had, right? Because remember,
I don't believe so.
Okay, because yeah, PS4 had like an 8-minute timer. Once you hit that, if you didn't update your device, your Brooks adapter, then it would do that disconnect. And I don't think they do that anymore. But in the case that if it does, then, but he was just in DNF, so. But that is PS4. I don't know. I'm speculating here, but that used to be a thing for the Brooks adapters. They're otherwise like completely perfect accessories to have. Like, I had one since the Xbox One days. Like, that has been a phenomenal accessory. But yeah, it's unfortunate.
I just
want
to point out, Junk Food Custom Arcades, they got PS5 boards. You don't got to worry about
they got the Brooks
adapters.
board right in there.
All
yeah,
right,
yeah,
listen,
yeah.
like, go check them out, okay? They're like the best when it comes to the all button layouts, and they know they have. I honestly love it, the fact that like as soon as they brought out the PS5 boards, not only has it not been like an issue, the fact that like I can just plug in and play has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, that is something that like a lot of the I guess because it kind of happens every time a new console comes out for all the fighting stick players, right? And even for players that are from the previous like controller, if you think about it, like from PS1, PS3 to then even Xbox. So it is one of those things where like this is part of having our games move to the next gen consoles and not having PS4 for it.
Gosh, thanks Sony for having that forward thinking too, and also like for having combo sticks as well, because like if it's a Sony officially licensed controller, it just auto plugs in. You're good to play on a PS5 without having to do any sort of adapter. So if you have an officially licensed controller, a specialty controller, very specific, you will be good to go on a PS5. But here we go, about to jump right back into it. Speaking of, we got a PS4 player.
Aztec versus BeyondToxin.
Uh-oh, even plugging in before the game even starts. We got to get this settled.
Yeah, definitely. We do have our production team. Amazing, by the way, shout outs to production and to everybody working the stage for being awesome, just people, an awesome team back here. I love seeing everybody. I was commentating yesterday with Yasian, and it was really awesome because like I always see him like behind the scenes.
Yes.
And like I always hear him like, yo, good job, Saki. You did a really awesome job. And then to be able to actually sit next to him and commentate is actually like a really unique experience.
Yeah.
That I hope to have more often.
There you go.
With everybody, because even production people are playing these games and they're passionate about what they love, which is this community.
I mean, honestly, that it is a passion of a project, honestly, a labor of love when it comes to these events as well. So much goes into it. They're working tireless hours, not only setting up, but backstage, getting as much footage taken care of for you as possible, making sure that you'll have tons of content to consume as the weekend goes on. So definitely, next time you see your TO or your production staff, make sure you thank them, buy them a slice of pizza, a beverage of their choice.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree with you there. Definitely make sure that you take care of them. When you see them out there, say thank you. It's crazy how thank you means like it does a lot for them, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is going to be Raiden versus Havik, Aztec versus BeyondToxin. Now, both players are losers. I believe this match is the one to qualify for top 8.
Yes,
if
it
I'm
is.
not mistaken. Yeah.
Even that last one was like Infinitii just qualified for top 8.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And again, heartbreaking at the end of the day, but these things do happen. The show must go on. And now we'll definitely be able to see. Again, we see Aztec with the Sareena pick. I'm actually curious to see how this works with
be as bad as you say.
with Havik.
Must I show you my scars
Yeah.
to prove it?
Very curious how this will actually turn out, because we've got Cyrax here. Havik, those forward advancing normals going to be very nice, especially with this zoning as well, because it has that rotation around it that'll keep Havik safe for a smidge for anyone that decides to get too close until you armor up Superman Dash.
That was actually perfect. That stopped the Cyrax, and on top of that, it was able to keep BeyondToxin in the corner. Now, though, that grab, which was a back throw, Aztec being able to come out of it. There goes the down four check. What a disjointed normal. Did you see how far that down four was?
Push Raiden so far back.
Oh, here's the damage that we were talking about earlier, and a great setup for the ambush can't assist for Sareena to set out her spell to slow down the meter.
Take down the meter, lessen the damage the opponent gives to you as well if you keep them inside the ring.
That string is a safe string, allows you to be able to continue. Gets out of Havik's way, blocks the Cyrax net, goes for the grab, gets the forward throw.
Boom. Interesting though, we're not seeing a whole lot of the zoning that we saw earlier, right?
Yes.
Like it used to be a ton of zoning game, but I guess
Madam Bo.
you're not dealing with the zoner, you're dealing with the forward advancing fighters, so all right, let's keep it in the martial arts realm, right? None of this
Also-
magic spell stuff.
Especially considering, you know, that you're fighting a literal zombie
Right,
at
yeah.
this point. I say zombie, but it could be like a curse or black magic. But regardless, I do want to point out, we do see Havik's projectile a lot faster than Rain's. So that could be a reason, too, why Aztec's not doing the walk back situation.
Yeah.
Is still doing a phenomenal job, was even able to just get the charge projectile off of right there. And the Sareena cameo still coming through.
Notice we say you're not doing the runaway game, and then immediately Aztec switches to that.
You know, it's his runaway game. He got it.
What
he
do
got
they
it.
want to do?
You know, something I just realized, was too late on the Thunder Wave to actually be able to stop the armor from Havik.
Right.
Okay, this does put Aztec in Fatal Blow territory. This is a lot of damage, and the Armored Wake Up actually
Smart.
to stop
Very
the
smart.
tether. That's great, though. That's a huge matchup knowledge for Aztec to utilize.
What?
Listen, it's happening.
You ever
okay?
pop off so hard your head explodes?
All the time. All the time. Alright, goes for the back throw. This is full screen Oki. Does get caught by the Cyrax net, and enough time for BeyondToxin to actually capitalize with the punish. Does miss the hit confirm on the last hit.
All right, yeah, come and get me. Oh, nice whiff punish here from Toxin.
Okay, there goes the overhead, and a great pickup. Tether comes out. Now this could be, into the Superman armor, but the Cyrax actually stopping it.
That was a very smart call there from Toxin.
That's that next layer, by the way, because, you know, the first layer is, okay, I can do this. Are you going to armor meter?
Yeah.
And when you armor meter, right, you saw right there that it's enough time for Aztec to just get out of the tether and actually beat it. But then, now the next layer is, let's bring out the cameo to help assist us.
Right, right.
Also love the coaching from Herbs.
I was just so close. Hey, you got this. Like, what,
You know, sometimes-
like, so close to me.
Sometimes it's all about just telling the person to breathe. I find it funny because I talk to some coaches that I've seen in like the past, and it's like, what do you tell them? And they go, I just tell them to breathe.
Yeah.
I was wrong
And
to
you'd be
disbelieve
surprised
you,
how that
but
just
still
helps
you refuse
level
to
them
be my
to be like,
ally.
I need to breathe, I need to focus,
Right,
realign
right, right.
myself, I can do this.
Fight.
Sometimes it's just block.
True. All right, here we go. Ooh, big thunder crash.
Great overhead as well to follow up. I'm noticing that his dive reminds me a lot of the Panther from Kotal's MK11.
Kinda, yeah, because of the arc, yeah.
And that's probably why Aztec's really comfortable using it.
That's a great observation actually right there.
I've seen these players too many times. I already know that happens.
Yeah, I see. I never would have put Panther on this until you mentioned it. All right. Oh, and he doesn't really get that ability until after he fights Kotal in the story anyways. So.
That is true, yeah. There goes the grab here from Aztec to create the full screen. Is going to avoid the Cyrax net. One thing, too, unfortunately, you do have to charge up those projectiles, and that is a lot of time for BeyondToxin to be able to come in.
Yeah, either you go for the charge, you do the immediate shot, but it's not as, potent as the 3 charge or even the full charge that Raiden has. But my God, a couple gut bombs.
Now, this is interesting because we do see Raiden now lit up at the moment, and I believe it creates a defensive buff for him, if I'm not mistaken, especially when he releases the lightning.
Right,
So
it
he's-
seemed like it busts his lightning moves too, yeah.
Yeah, so that is huge. That usually comes down when he enters in a really critical health state, especially for a long period of time. Oh, that's still launched because it came from the back. That's crazy.
Blocks. Nice overhead.
There it goes once
Charged
again.
up.
The blocking coming into play, so it does seem it activates when you're being too
If you're blocked,
defensive.
yeah. I'm all charged up because of the kinetic energy. Okay, like, all right, I got you.
And it makes sense because Raiden is the electric, user of Mortal Kombat.
Right.
So
Nice.
Good down 4 check.
Yeah, good
Oh.
recognition though. And only a down 1, so it's a very safe check.
Yeah, because it's such a slow startup, so that down
Yeah.
1 check allows you to be conscious of like, okay, fatal blow right here, and that is going to hit twice, and this should kill because of the fact that BeyondToxin was in fatal blow territory.
It comes running. Yeah. What?
Perfect. And with that, Aztec's able to take the next round. BeyondToxin is still at that potential set point before heading into, or before being able to qualify into top 8. So Aztec is going to have to try to win this round to stay alive.
Yes. Excellent jump there from Toxin. My goodness.
Yeah, really good stuff. And also smart decision from Aztec to be able to get out of that scenario.
Big up ball. All right, so there'll be an extended recovery on the Sareena there. It's a great call to go for that in a safe way with the down 4 to avoid the callback of the pieces.
Indeed. Now there are moments where, oh, great reversal punish. Also getting the armor to actually do so and successfully complete it. There goes the launcher. Unfortunately caught in mid teleport.
Yeah.
Does get the Superman though. Gonna be able oh no, the assist on the Cyrax.
Cyrax.
Because that would have been a full whiff combo punish.
All right, Duck wanted extra reassurance, make sure we were low enough to avoid the fireball.
Ooh. Oh no, not able to actually block on the last hit.
Woo.
Good anti-air, but wasn't able to confirm. This is a poke game right now.
Yeah, really is. Armored up, trying to avoid it again, but the backside of Cyrax. Too far out. Nice fatal blow. Toxin taking it. Y'all don't want to see this.
I don't know. I probably we seen Havik's fatal blow.
So what if he would have lived? What if he would have lived? Wait.
You know that's crazy though. That sometimes that's happened, but I think right now MK1's not in that stage because it happened in MK11. But I don't think, even though you have 1100 health, it's not the same as like in MK11 where when you did reach that, like it did kind of hurt. It's like now fatal blow is actually showing you you're supposed to die in that like range.
Yeah.
Which is I think I feel the better part about MK1 because I feel better knowing that if I hit confirm into a high damaging move like that, it should kill because that's the whole idea of the fatal blow when you hit confirm it in that range. So that might be why. But that is putting BeyondToxin into top 8 on the lower side of the bracket.
Yeah, we only have like a couple more matches to figure out the rest of this because we still have Coach Steve in the works up against Misfit Panda, and then the last one would be Zintai up against Pluralmite to round it out. And it looks like Coach Steve is already playing right now against Misfit. Coach Steve is up 1-0 right now.
Ooh,
so
that's good. That's like again, those are 2 good matches. Like Misfit Panda, again, played Mileena, so that's going to be the Mileena versus Baraka matchup. Misfit Panda has been doing a phenomenal job, has been a Mileena player since MK11. Before that was playing Cassie. You know, I love talking to them because they're very much insightful in how to, like, they're like that character loyalist at the end of the day.
Okay.
And I love talking to character loyalists, even though, you know, sometimes we suffer, but it's okay.
You would know, right?
I would know. I would very much know. But also seeing Coach Steve do really well in this bracket run is actually really awesome to see. He is a veteran player, so being able to see him come back to MK in like a really strong way says a lot about how he's taking MK1.
Yeah.
And then this one's another Florida boys match. This is going to be Pluralmite versus Zintai. And that is going to be Tanya. Possibly, I feel like Zintai should skip the Shang and actually go straight to Baraka, if I'm being honest, with the way Pluralmite plays. The Shang Tsung was a really interesting pick when we saw him earlier, but we can definitely see that he's more comfortable with the Baraka once he gets in.
Yeah, I think the Baraka was just, again, the ease of consistency from Baraka is crucial, especially, you know, Baraka being that 2-touch character, especially backed up with Cyrax, making it help with your chip damage, keeping you safe. Shang Tsung, I think, you know, Zintai had a phenomenal Shang Tsung in MK11 for sure. But I think, you know, maybe it's too soon for Shang Tsung. And it also depends about when you picked up the game, too, because if it was premium, then, you know, you already have that week of practice. But if it was only just the base kit, well, then, you had a little bit of waiting to do.
So actually, I believe Shang Tsung did not come out until Standard came out.
Standard, yeah,
Because it was DLC.
Yeah. You could do the trials, I think, for Shang Tsung.
I believe so, yeah.
Havik was available then too, so.
Yep. Yeah, so that does mean a lot in terms of like how much time you have with the character. When we did see Zintai go up against Punk, the Shang Tsung was cool, but I still feel that Baraka was the better choice, even though Punk's Ashrah was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that does leave into seeing that. I'm curious to see how Pluralmite's going to handle Zintai though.
Yeah.
Both players are like extremely knowledgeable and know what to do.
Yeah, because premium pass holders had that week in advance of Shang Tsung, was able to play and practice with them, and just after that, like the floodgates opened. So hopefully, we got the early pickup. But yeah, you're right. Like we're even seeing it here. Potentially you're going for button check first before we jump into this. But yeah, the way that Tanya kind of controls the flow of the match, especially with projectiles, it'll be very interesting to see this war. And you're right, Baraka pick to start off with on Cyrax.
Yep. A good choice there from Zintai. And, that's one thing, too, that, like, as competitors, like, you have to know when to choose the character you're comfortable with. Again, still early, but, at some point, you need to understand that, like, playing and loving the game and consistently, like, you can be the best with that character. If you're not comfortable in the competition, that's where you need to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, coming into it competitively, like knowing how your character fares against other characters, it's so much knowledge checking that you have to work on across this especially for MK too, because you get into the nuance of when and where you can duck, or the timing for like a Wallace block, for example, which is something that it's an even tighter window, it feels like, in this iteration of the game. So, all right, so here we are, round start here at the last qualifier for top 8.
Now, Pluralmite did win the first hit interaction, so does have 2 bars of meter to work with, and right there using it with the Wake Up Armored Special, getting the kicks going. Zintai trying to go start up on the string, but Pluralmite actually able to whip punish completely, and look at just this damage. Perfect for Pluralmite to do so. Tries to charge up the buff.
Yeah, that was such a brave interrupt too on that start from Zintai. Like, absolutely insane. Big opportunity to catch up, has 2 bar. Nice shutdown on the armor as well, too. Good stagger to get this pickup. Extend with Cyrax for the big damage. Oh no, just gonna leave it there. I mean, enough is enough, I suppose.
Yeah, and remember, if Zintai tried to go for the jump, it could have taken Pluralmite out of the corner.
Right, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
And it was pretty low, too, so we've been very inconsistent.
So good knowledge on terms of for Zintai, good awareness rather. And now Pluralmite just gonna have to try to advance here. Does get hit and pushed back into the corner, but a great punish though from Pluralmite. Very on point with reactions.
Nice, wall falling there, got the jump too, and the immediate break.
Just try to start up on the buff, but the projectile is actually faster. I would say a little bit, even though the trades are even, Baraka's projectile is actually faster than Tanya's own. So those trades are going to be in favor for Zintai if he times them correctly. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, so no more buffs that we're seeing here with that additional install, but interrupts the Cyrax forward advancing. I do like the shortfall from Zintai after the spin, but Pluralmite still getting this punish.
Yeah, Pluralmite.
Stuck.
Pluralmite trying to use the diagonal projectile, but wasn't able to get it. Flawless blocks, but still gets hit by the low. That is a mid-low kick. Do not let yourselves get hit by it thinking that it's an overhead, because you're gonna get hit.
Baraka's so cool in this game.
He really is. I think that the fact that his trailer made him shine so well, and still he shines in this game, is really awesome for the Tarkatan mains. But that is gonna put Zintai up 1 for the game. And again, great choice for using Baraka here. I think that this was the right call. Looking really strong with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this. Full screen awareness, trying to advance in.
Has to be careful of this dance. So terrifying. There we go.
Ooh, very nice.
Immediate break. We've been zoning enough where you got meter. All right.
So one thing here is, again, both players are going to have that slow meter game because they don't have cameos that are actually going to benefit from this full screen. The thing is, the reality is for Pluralmite, it's important to have that meter for the wake-up reversal. Versus as Zintai, it's just better to have it for, like, again, the reversal to actually capitalize on offensive pressure. So here we see Pluralmite able to get that BNB. Once again, doesn't need to use a lot of meter for it and just can wait to wake up. Doesn't choose to do so. Actually backing up again, going back to full screen. 29 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, strong lead for Pluralmite here. Just needs one touch if you're Zintai to really close that gap, but that breaker is going to come into play here as the time winds down.
Very nice. That is a safe overhead and a great choice for Pluralmite to actually can follow up with the reversal armored attack. And that's it, that projectile. Yeah,
that was all basically a checkmate situation. I mean, you did have Fatal Blow unless you had like a solid combo into that Fatal Blow. The odds were that 10 seconds was not going to be enough time to, you know, change up the pace of the match.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Once again, Zintai trying to zone out with the projectile from Baraka. Pluralmite's actually just dodging, which is actually really smart. Yep. Does get hit though, however, does lose a chunk of damage. Is able to start off the BNB, get 27 and actually even up the health, putting Zintai a little bit lower. The down the down 4 poke actually working.
Oh, want to interrupt there with that down 1 from Pluralmite here. Now able to apply this pressure. Here we go, swinging for the heavens.
Now that stand 1 is a high, so that's why Zintai tried to duck, but there was no punish off of it. Gets Goro out to throw.
Duck.
I do like that Zintai is trying to get through the obstacle course that Pluralmite's establishing here. Ooh, good poke. Gonna start up the chip damage, flawless blocks to prevent the pushback. Does get the overhead, very nice.
Okay, a little wonky pickup right there, but you know, great ejection decision from Pluralmite there to not overextend. Plus frames. Yeah, immediate break.
Breakaway early, still has enough health. 10 seconds on the clock. Essentially, Pluralmite can just run away from it, but chooses to actually punish the Cyrax assist. A risky position, but good knowledge there from Pluralmite to do so.
Right. I mean, you had the massive life lead. You may as well, because you're going to shut down, at the very least, the startup of that, putting damage onto Baraka, and then potentially you're going to shut down Cyrax. It was iffy, but worth that risk.
And that's something that I've also noticed too when I was like even in my pools. You know, sometimes it's okay to try to not respect those assist calls, because you never know that they could be doing it off of very unsafe strings.
Right.
Buff is on right now for Pluralmite.
Oh, nice. But interrupts.
Again with the wonky pickup, now that string is pretty much best to just end in the overhead or just end as default, but this is a good pickup for Zintai. Yeah,
absolutely. Great cancel. Oh, see, and that's the unfortunate factor of having a Cyrax assist. It's just like, okay, sometimes helicopter does not pick up the way you want it to.
We are on potential set point for Zintai.
Yes.
Pluralmite does need to tie this up, does get the mid, and is able to hit confirm into the low for the side switch. Once again, no bar used and still getting 31% is great for a character like Tanya.
Okay, keep it simple, but the wake up attack, yes. Yeah, and great corner swap too to hold that position.
Yeah, it's a good corner swap. You're able to establish some pressure. Gonna try to flawless block. Does get grabbed because Zintai is noticing that Pluralmite is trying to respect it.
That was a perfect Cyrax summon. That is the ideal Cyrax situation you want to see every time.
All right, it looks like Pluralmite is trying to win this round. Getting very close. It does need to clean it up. Only one hit essentially. Yep, there goes the projectile coming out.
Yep.
It would have been chip damage or projectile that was able to land.
Yep. All right, last. What a duck! My God.
Oh my gosh.
Stagger pressure begins here. Time to play the guess again. Caught low. Yeah, immediate break. Don't want to let Zintai get any advantage here. By the time this fireball war correctly, Zintai has the most to win off of this. Like you said, a little bit more advantageous there.
Yeah, this is actually, once again, the faster projectile on the side of Baraka. The buff is on, though, for Pluralmite, so this could be a big opportunity for Pluralmite to actually gain the health lead.
I mean, honestly, look at this zoning game that Zintai is trying to play. Already has a substantial lead. Can force Pluralmite to chase down and then overextend themselves so we can get this follow-up from potentially Cyrax or even just a stray hit from Baraka. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Almost opened up Zintai completely there, but wasn't confident in the hit confirm. Instead, was just trying to look to see if it happened. Went for that grab to try to reestablish the full screen.
Yeah, 25 seconds left here. A small life lead from Zintai. There's the net.
This is very dangerous right now. There we go. That's a big opening.
Yeah,
and
you can
has
actually
no meter.
kill. You can kill here.
Yes, you can, and Zintai does do so, qualifying for top 8 on the loser side.
I mean, what a send. You know, honestly, being able to spend that EX to get that pop open and then eventually extend into Cyrax. You know, it was definitely guaranteed once we got that opener there, and the fact that there was no combo breaker opportunity there from Tanya as well. Like, wow, what a set, what a last moment for Zintai there, and great call to just back things up, force the opponent to make that mistake.
Indeed. And so with that, because we do have that Coach Steve versus Misfit Panda happening, I believe, Zero, you'll be getting us that result hopefully soon if it's completed. But that does mean that for our winner's side, on the Heaven side, it is going to be Parsa versus Punk the God, I believe. Or rather, Parsa, Punk the God in top 8. FullAuto and Stryker in top 8 as well on the winner's side. And then we have Infinitii, BeyondToxin, Zintai, and we'll be waiting for that last one. It's probably still updating, which is all good. But they are on the lower side of the bracket. And that has been quite an insane top 24
Yes.
for the first major for Mortal Kombat.
You're already a week in here. There's been so much phenomenal NRS play here for MK1. I mean, players of all walks of life have been picking up this game as well, too, as one does when an NRS. I don't think there's very many games that can really say that it brings people together more so than what MK does or any NRS title really does. I mean, WB and NRS have something special when it comes to Mortal Kombat game. We've seen scenes cross barriers as well in other games, but the whole world stops, essentially, when an NRS title comes out. I don't know what y'all are doing here, but you got Dave Bautista in on a commercial there. The world freaking stops for these games. So, yeah, it's a tale as old as time. You know, MK has always been a staple throughout the arcade era of fighting games. It continues to be a staple throughout the fighting game community. Anyone that's tuned in, thank you so very much for this glorious top 4. We're still waiting on the results to update between Coach Steve and Misfit Panda, but last we saw it was 1-0 in favor of Misfit Panda, so hopefully that does get updated a little bit later here. What's after this?
I believe production will let us know in just a second.
Oh, Blaze Blue.
Ooh, that's another one.
Blaze Blue is coming up right now. I forget what CF stands for. It's
Central Fiction.
Central Fiction. Thank you.
Yep.
I want to say Continuum Shift Extend, and that is not. That is not it. Not it. But yes, Central Fiction coming up here in just a moment. But everyone tune in. Thank you again, of course, for hanging out with us for this top 24. Top 8 begins 11 a.m. tomorrow, and that's going to be on the official Tampa Never Sleeps stream, the main one. Just double check to make sure I'm correct because there's 2 Tampa Never Sleeps. Yes, the main Tampa Never Sleeps stream will be broadcasting at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Saki, it's been a real pleasure hanging out with you once again. What, since Frosty Faustings, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, thank you again. But, yeah, that'll do here. Stick around for Blaze Blue at CEOtaku 7.
Take care, everyone.